From a junkyard in the UK that had the heartbreaking task of crushing this Ferrari, and dozens of ceramic toilets in China that had a blind date with gravity, to a pair of tree trimmers who learned how dangerous power lines can be, and much more. Here are some of the most expensive mistakes caught on camera. Chaozhou, China is a prefecture-level city in Guangdong province. It's home to about 2.5 million people and a pair of warehouse workers who will never look at toilets the same way again. Their job was simple: take the newly fired ceramic toilets off the shelf and load them onto push carts. Things were going well at first. Then, they got to the end of the row. The leg collapses just as our worker pulls the last toilet off. It sets off a chain reaction that causes half the toilets to plummet to their doom. Then, just when they think it's over, the other half comes crashing down. They lost every single toilet. In their defense, it seems like these guys were set up to fail. Why are those heavy toilets stacked 5 high on such a flimsy platform? According to an insider, the rack is arranged by a toilet-making professional. The entire thing goes into a massive kiln and cooks for about 20 hours. The toilets go in soft as clay and come out as hardened ceramics. Or should we say, breakable ceramics. Now, while that doesn't explain why the rack was so flimsy, it shows how much time goes into making something as simple as a toilet. Taraz, Kazakhstan is one of the oldest cities in Central Asia. In fact, they celebrated their 2000th anniversary in 2001. And we bet that in 2,000 years of existence, they have never seen anybody as stupid as this man. It was May 8th of 2017. A man sat atop his van, trying to fill a canister with diesel fuel. Now, he's already making a huge mistake. There's a reason gas station signs tell you to keep the container on the ground when filling. Apparently, he loved ignoring warning signs, especially the ones about gas being flammable. Now, it's hard to believe that the driver who leaves the running nozzle unattended isn't the only idiot in this video. Pay attention to the man sitting on top of his van. It's dark up there. He can't tell if his tank is full. So what does he do? He strikes a lighter to look inside. Panicked, he rips the nozzle from the tank, which sprays flaming gasoline all over the station. He's lucky he only hit people's cars. The real danger is the running nozzle that our friend left unattended. His passenger gets out and starts cleaning the gas off the car while the driver returns and grabs the hose. Then, he gets in the car just as the fire suppression system goes off. It's unclear what happened once the other drivers peeled away. It looks like our fire starter jumped off the roof and ran as far away as possible. He'll probably hold the title of dumbest man in Taraz for the next 2,000 years. Now, tree trimming is a risky business, especially when power lines are involved. One wrong move could get these workers in serious trouble. On January 25th of 2018, a tree removal company arrived to trim some branches in someone's backyard. Now, we're not sure where this job took place. All we know is the tree was growing too close to the power lines. It had to come down before something bad happened. Unfortunately, things did not go according to plan. They cut the tree, and it fell right onto the power line. Take a guess what happens next.
Oh my God.
It's hard to count how many things these guys did wrong. For starters, that branch was never going to fall away from the power lines. Just look at how it's coming out of the tree. Once the tree contacted the power line, our tree cutter should have gotten down as quickly as possible. Tree limbs are great at conducting electricity. They can easily electrocute you once you're touching the wires. This worker is lucky a shock didn't jump from the wire to the tree and up his chainsaw. There was definitely a safer way to take this tree down, and these workers did just about everything wrong. Thankfully, though, they were okay in the end. They just had to deal with angry homeowners wondering why their power went out. Zahed Khan is a convicted felon with an expensive taste in cars. Long story short, He ran an elaborate license plate scam that fleeced people in the UK out of £500,000. When the law finally caught up with him, Zahed flew to Dubai. Unfortunately, he had to leave his Ferrari behind. According to the police, the Ferrari 458 Spider didn't have valid insurance and was classified as a Category B vehicle. That means it was unroadworthy and thus had to be destroyed. They could have been more discreet, but we think Birmingham police wanted to make a point. Zahed made many mistakes in life, but not getting proper insurance on his supercar was one of the worst. Then, he posted a picture of the car outside the Birmingham Crown Court. That's how police found him and ultimately seized the car. Zahed doubled down, claiming the car was up to code and had insurance. He turned around and sued the Birmingham police, all while being a wanted fugitive hiding out in Dubai. He claims the car was worth £200,000, so that's how much he was suing for. The police basically laughed in his face. Even if it were true, nobody would trust a scammer who stole thousands of pounds from innocent Brits. It's unclear why they decided to destroy the car instead of repairing it and selling it at auction. It seems like they could have brought in a lot more money to help the people Zahed scammed. The port of Valencia is the 5th busiest seaport in Europe. Every year, it moves over 80 million tons of cargo. We're talking phones, cars, spices, plastics, chemicals, and lots of wine. On September 11th of 2020, workers were moving a container full of red wine when it suddenly sprung a leak. What looks like an Egyptian plague was actually just an expensive fail.
Madre mía, qué bestia vino.
We don't know what caused this container of wine to leak. Perhaps the better question is, why was it full of wine in the first place? Normally, cases of bottled wine are loaded onto pallets and then placed in the container. Maybe there was a giant plastic bladder inside, and whatever punctured the container also broke the bag. If that's the case, somebody should seriously rethink their wine shipping practices. If you enjoyed this video and want to see another just like it, be sure to click the link on screen now. With that, thanks for watching, and be sure to tune in next time.